credentials. That is what we will be discussing today on the conversation. And to do justice to today's topic, I have with me a veteran of the stage and the president of the National Association of Nigerian Theatre Arts Practitioners, Adeniran Makinde. Thank you very much for joining us on the program.
Thank you for having me.
Now, before we go into the nitty-gritty of today's topic, I'm just curious, and I know that I'm speaking the minds of our viewers at home. Can you just briefly share with us your journey into theatre?
Well, the journey into theatre, I would say it's one of such many stories. You get interested, and here you are, having to go to school. Even before school, the practice had begun at the National Theatre, you know, joining this group or that group, doing stuff, and then thereafter you go to school and all of that. And that's the journey. Is something that has to do with the likeness. You know, when you're a kid, you like something, you wish you could be there, and then the opportunity was provided from, I think, from secondary school. Yeah, from class 1 and all of that. You know, all these are clubs that we join while in secondary school, the arts club, literature clubs, and all of that. And that helped. It helped, you know, in helping to sharpen and realize that dream. And it was good. It was good. And when we left primary school, secondary school, you continued because the opportunity was provided and because you had an idea, you know, outside of school. That was the time around the National Theatre. Theatre practice was bustling around the National Theatre. You have all kinds of troupes, theatre companies coming around the National Theatre because there was provision for it during those years. People come to rehearse there, and people young like me will come around to watch, and gradually you get into the groove. And one found the need to go back to school to study theatre arts, and here we are practicing.
Okay, so you mentioned the National Theatre like 4 times or 3 times. That means that place played a very important role in the development of theatre in Nigeria. Do you agree with that?
Certainly, there is no doubt about that. It has grown. Whatever you say about it, whether negative or positive, National Theatre represents that soul of theatre practice. And indeed, Nollywood is a symbol, is a big symbol of our cultural identity. And we cannot deny that.
Okay, let's talk about national development now. For a developing nation like Nigeria, what are the roles, the core roles of theatre in developing a country like Nigeria? You know, we are a peculiar nation. Yes, so what are the core roles of theatre?
Well, in your introduction, you mentioned all, right? There is no need going about it. But what is important now is how well have we been able to get it into our system?
Harness its potential.
Yeah, into our system so that it can help our national development. I'll tell you that we have not been able to do that. We have not. We are still struggling for so many reasons. I won't put the blame totally on government. I will share it between all of us, both the practitioners, the government, and all of that. All these are responsible for that, you know. And when we talk about this thing, I'm one of those who will easily tell you that it is not about money, because people are quick to come. Some practitioners, I would say, they are quick to come to say, we are not financed and so on. I said, see, if we get this finance, even the little we've been getting, how well have we been able to use them? I would say that because, see, you can't be throwing money at something that has no structure. Policy is key. Policy is what makes money. If you throw money at something that is not set, you will just see your money flying. And that we have done it over time, and then stories thereafter, you know. But when we are deliberate as a country and go back to the policy and ensure that at that beginning, right, we ensure that all these things are put in our daily lives as enumerated by you in our social life, even economically. This thing we have to be deliberate about it and make sure they walk into all those policies, and then the next step of executing such policies rather than it being on those files and keeping it away somewhere. Okay. I always make this conversation where I have the opportunity to talk about it. I say, look, nothing is cast in stone. To come and say, theater don't make money and all of that. Who says? What is the business model that we have been able to create through policies, through all of this engagement? How many infrastructure have we been able to see? When you have policy, the right policy in place, that means somewhere in that policy, there will be what are the opportunities, what are the downs, what are the ups? How can we harness this, our ups, right, to make something? There you begin to see the potential for all that you can do, be it social, right, be it economical. And then you begin to think of infrastructure to aid that. When you do, this is when we begin to talk of it. If we talk in Nigeria today, hey, how many standard theater, performing theater spaces do we have?
Yeah, that's true.
Let's take out those halls that we have, performing spaces. Performing spaces and standard theater are two different things. They are two different things. To us. Please, performing spaces are the likes where we can easily, there are space, there is a stage, there is a sitting area, but there are no facilities for standard theater there, which then means if I invest in that to put my show there, I'll go find money to rent light and put in the space.
Very important.
I'll find money to ensure that I put sound in that space. You see, these two that I just mentioned, they take the entire budget. Wow. So those producers you see out there still putting theater out there, what they are doing is beyond magic.
Okay, you have a question?
To elaborate more on this policy gaps, that exist in the creative sector that is also hindering theater on its own?
Well, there are conversations going on all over the place, we will claim. And truthfully, those conversations are going on. But to what purpose? What is the agenda at the end of the day? Are we sure that the right people are the people we are making conversations with? You get? And they are very critical. I'm not pointing accusing, because see, we may be doing something and not know, particularly when you are in government. People who are in government are often beclouded, not by their own making, because I sympathize with them some of the time when I sit down, where you have to meet so many people. Nobody is writing it at the forehead that I'm good or I'm bad. But what are the structure in place for you to be able to know that of course you speak to everybody. You don't repair a house, a falling house from the top. You go to the bottom. Creating papers and all of that, they look fine, making fantastic headlines, they look fine, but are we really doing the matter? See, one thing I will tell you is that we have to start from the basis. And when I say basis, I would say, let me take an example of Lagos State, because we are familiar with that. We have some localities in Lagos State that when you enter such locality, you find out that there are several theater companies, private theater companies, or dance troops.
Yes.
When we make those our conversation and policy positions at that top, do we often consider those people? Do they come into the fabric of our thoughts? At that, and this is where policy matters needs to expand beyond staying at the top, good headlines, churning out papers, documents for us to see, or forming partnership. What are the substance of the partnership you are making? Are they going down? And as you know, theater, yes, there is the argument that is an elite platform. That's a cliche that is old and not quite relevant.
I do agree too.
In terms of building a society, it has become a tool. And I've said it here once. I said, look, theater is the first contact for every performative arts.
True.
I agree.
In the ecosystem,
Yeah.
theater is like the school
Yes.
to which every of those performers will come first to be able to. And there are critical examples. There are obvious examples right everywhere in the world. You see, Hollywood, actors, big actors in Hollywood, after they are done with a major project, do you know that they find job down to the Broadway?
Yeah.
Do you know why? They have to reinvent themselves as actor. And where they don't get job on Broadway, right? They have to hire coach to train them so that they get reinvented. But hiring coach is big money as against getting a job on Broadway, which is a stage play. You will be retooling yourself and getting paid.
I see.
So we have to take advantage. And Nigeria is such a blessed country where out of 10 people you see, whether they go to the school or not, whether they practice or not, right, we are gifted as a creative people. So Nigeria as a nation, beyond the ministry that we have now, we have to begin to see how we can harness the potential of theater into education,
Fantastic.
into our social life. How? Like Council for National Orientation Agency.
Yes, NOA.
How are they disseminating some of their information that could easily, what we call theater for development. Theater for development is one of the so fantastic elements of theater disseminating information, right? Advocacy theater. When we go into the nitty-gritty of theater and break it down, you will find out that theater is life.
I like the fact that I want to come in there when you said, integrating theater into the curriculum.
Yeah.
I'm quite old school, so I grew up.
We all are.
I went to school, and I went to school when theater was part of the curriculum.
Yes.
Because we had books when we were in our literature class. We were reading Lion and the Jewel by Wole Soyinka. We had Olarotimi's
The Gods Are Not
The
to
Gods Are
Blame.
Not to Blame.
Yes.
Yeah.
When we were reading those books,
Yes.
we were taken to National Theatre
Yes.
to watch it
Those
on
plays.
stage.
We even acted them.
And then
Yes.
come
We
back to
acted.
school to act.
Yes.
I was CD, the Jewel. So I will never ever forget.
It will be good for Sadiku now.
I was CD, so I played the role of CD. It was part of the curriculum.
Yes.
There was proper casting. We were 3, casted for that role, and we were performed. And of course, I won. I came out the best. So I do agree with you. I don't know, they don't do it in schools anymore. Do they even take
Some schools
Do they
still-
take students to watch stage plays now?
That's a big question.
Well, will you blame them?
Because there's nowhere to go.
Where to go?
Where do they go?
See, this is where we need to understand when we keep hammering on policy. Policy may appear like dealing with very small things, but at the long run, it builds people. That's what it is. You see, if, for example, there is a policy that this has to happen, even if we leave it at a time, right, and we come back, we stumble on it, whoa, this has to happen. That means we have to build it, we have to go back to it and all of that. That means a place for infrastructure so that those kids can go and regularly see that provision, even if not big. It can be small theaters. What do they call it now? These community theaters. I've forgotten. But they are small, courtyard theaters. You get, where we can engage, or how we build our schools. What are the provisions that we're having in those schools for those students to have such time for training, or in the recruitment of our personnel? Is there consideration for hiring someone who is part of that system, who understands, so that they can train? Because even in it, those students that you are training them for theater in school or taking them to watch theater does not mean they will end up practicing. It helps. One of the things that I know that it does to your memory, it helps in your understanding what you read. Because one of the critical things that we do in theater is ensuring before you go to stage to begin to perform that script you are given, you read it beyond the lines. You read to understand. You read to imagine the character. Sometimes if we are in workshops, we encourage, when we are training actors, we encourage them, do you know what? Those characters you think they are fiction, walk on the street, you will see the character.
Okay, so now to my question. Bimpe, aka CD, said that she played a role in a stage play.
Yeah.
So that means back then we had all these things in our curriculum. Where exactly did we miss it as a nation? Is it because we have Nollywood now? No. Nollywood came into being and then we abandoned theater.
No.
Where and when did we miss it as a nation?
I'll use this expression, and just pardon me. And those who are hearing me who want to take it to the other side now, is an expression. Nollywood is an escape route from, we are escaping from our failing. Because when Nollywood came, it was all glam. We then forgot that this glamour that we are seeing, there has to be process to it. And that's why even Nollywood, as we speak, is struggling. Because the process to it has been broken. So it is that process that we threw away in everything. Maybe we get beclouded by so much politics that we forget governance. You get what I'm saying? Because governance, in my thinking, deals equally with every sector. Or we relegated the arts because we feel it is not a national emergency. And because we think it's not a national emergency, I don't think we imagine that it is doing a lot to keep our kids sane. I don't think they imagine. The only way I feel our leaders are seeing theater is just entertainment. When they want to do parties, when they want to do this, we need to see, that is the only time. They never imagined it. And this is, I'm sorry if that is sounding off to some people, but that is what we get at the end of the day. That, don't we know that this thing as small as you think it appears, right, has a lot to do in building up before we even talk about the potentials for the economics for it.
Okay. So now we've mentioned all these challenges. So what is the organization, the association doing to address these challenges that we just highlighted?
We are making conversation here and there. The same thing we are saying, we are ensuring, that we are getting together with people who matter in the industry, people, policymakers and all of that. We are sitting with them. We are talking. Because we can't stop conversation. That is where, because there are people still in there who are equally listening. It is just that it's a long walk. It's a long walk. We are not shying away from that. We are driving the conversation, and more so, we are helping to reorganize the sector, holding on the sector, right? Helping to keep it alive, because the practitioners are there. They keep practicing. Whatever you say, they keep practicing, and it is such our association keeping that on while we make conversation with people that matters. We are hopeful. We are hopeful. The achievement may be moving slowly, but we are moving somewhere. We are very hopeful it will. Only that the movement is very, very, very slow.
Very slow. Now let's talk about culture.
Yes.
And our identity as a nation. And of course, theater. What is the relationship between these three elements now? Culture, our identity, and theater in national development.
Every theater of a people borrows its strengths from the culture of a people. Because whatever, as Nigerian, whatever we draw from, apart from doing plays outside of here and all of that, whatever we are drawing from is from the strength of our culture, right? Culture is an identity of a people. So there is no way you tear your culture off you, So it's important. All those are intermingling for them to survive. But most importantly, our culture is our national identity. It's our national identity. There's no two ways about that.
And let's talk about the young people. You have a question?
Yeah.
Okay. Before.
How do you see the intersection between theater and technology now? People go to cinemas now. So is there a way that we could have like digital theaters? Is that something that can work here in Nigeria?
It's already happening. Okay. If not as much as we want it, talks are all over the place, of course. Things are changing, new dimension. And this is where we bring what is the economics of all, because see, that's why I say nothing is cast in stone when it comes to working out business models. Technology is considered. How, for example, if you have a hall that seats 500, yeah, you get 500. How do I make this thing allow 1 million people to see it at the same time all over the world? Technology comes into play there. But for old school, like our
CD.
Our CD mentioned. I'm part of those people who still have that strong belief that theater is theater.
You have to be there live.
It is life. No matter. However, we can't put away the place of technology, the new age, right? We can't put away that reality. It's something that needs consideration. It can get better, right? And it's equally for economic power. Okay. You get, even after performing. Yes, there was a time I was in conversation with a company, a foreign company, where we are hoping to, when you have a show, right, there is a special kind of camera that they bring to that show. People will be trained, they bring to that show as you are performing with the audience. That camera, I think they say is 360 degree kind of, all kinds of technology. After that show, after that performance, you may have your normal 6 days performance or 3 days performance, but after it, that thing would have been recorded with that camera, right? And then we stream it.
Do we still call that theater?
But that's digital theater.
Do we still call that theater?
See, that's what I said. We are old school. Let's put it that way. So that goes. But for economic power, the man who puts that, given the situation we have in Nigeria, where we don't have standard theater spaces, and you would have spent 80% of your budget on making the hall. Every time you make a theater, you build a theater in Nigeria. That's what it is. Because paying for all the light and all of that, that's you building a theater. They just give you a space and then you build a theater to do one show. That means you don't have money. How much are you going to make back from this thing? Even if your seat, are you going to sell each seat 1 million naira?
Who's going to buy that in this present economy?
This is where this technology becomes relevant. That digital theater, because you know that, oh, I'm cool. After this can be streamed. And in all that streaming, everybody that wants to watch it anywhere in the world, as they press it, $1 or 1 pence go into my account. You are cool.
Every hour or every minute.
You get what I'm saying? Every minute, whatever the agreement with your partner.
Yeah.
But when you look at it in that sense, you can make sense of it. Because I keep telling people, theater owners, theater companies, I say, look, it has come to time where you don't run theater with passion.
That's very deep.
Before you go into it, this is why some people will just wake up and say, next month I want to do theater. How can you next month start planning today and next month your theater show is on the stage?
Is that
that
why?
means that's not business.
Is that why we're no longer having, this please, I stand to be corrected.
Yeah.
We're no longer having this Sunday show, theater shows that our late Wole Ogutokun used to have in Lagos at the...
God bless his memory.
God bless his memory. I don't want to mention the name of the place, but we used to go every Sunday.
Wole Ogutokun was my friend, close friend at that. You get? If I tell you what he went through getting all those things done.
Every Sunday.
He was not making
What
money.
year was that, please? Sorry. We were new school. We were old school.
Early 2000s.
Okay.
Until his death.
We're watching the TV there.
Until his death. Wole Ogutokun kept making theater.
Even abroad.
Even abroad. He was not making money.
It was passion.
I can say that with the whole of my chest. It was passion. And a whole lot of us did it. But we have come to the age where, see, if you want to, theater is like every other business where you must sit down, do your feasibility studies, do your researches, do your the SWOT analysis. If you don't apply all of that, you are not doing theater, the business of theater. You are only running your passion.
I have a fear now, because now that you have just said that theater cannot be done just based on passion anymore. This generation where we are right now,
I was going
there
to
is
say
people
that. Yes.
It's not passion. We want to make money. And so the generation of those who were passionate are your generation, the CD generation.
That's the truth now.
That's the truth.
Yes.
So don't you think that someday theater doesn't become a thing of the past?
No.
Are you integrating the youths
cannot.
now?
No.
Do we have young people who
Yes.
are still passionate
This is
about
how
it?
I'll put it. There is still passion in there. There is, when you get an idea, it's all about passion. But when the idea has landed, get out of that passion. And now think of...
That's why there's need for mentoring.
Yes. Think of, okay, I want to have this performed. Is it for business or just for social gathering? You must ask yourself those critical questions. When you then answer those critical questions, is for social gathering, go ahead and be running your passion. If it is for business, then do what is deserved for business to succeed. Don't just say it is theater. When you run it with passion, Don't come back and tell us I didn't make money, Sha. Theater is a lost business. No. You are the one who have refused to plan. Because you just think when theater comes, that's it. He has to make money. You get to knock on doors. Have you done what they call audience development? How many months do you think audience development should last for you to know that this thing can make money? How long have you been studying that thing that you put on the ground? The play that you want to do, how relevant? What is the theme that is relevant for people to see and say, no, I have to see that thing? What is the strength of your register? Guest register. There are a whole lot of things that people have thrown away. And you say, no, you get to ask yourself. When passion helps you, when idea comes, and passion helps you to see it that I can do this as, ask yourself, is this for social gathering or for business? It is only when you do that and you approach it, and like every other business, the first time you may not make much profit or no profit at all, but there will be something in there that you can still hold on to want to do it the second time. And I think that's why some business people who did not read theater like us, but came into it, are like succeeding, even though it is hard for them because there is no infrastructure. So most of the money there, I don't want to mention names of those who are succeeding in theater. It's hard, I know. But you see, they come back and do it again. It's because they see something in there. What is the problem for them, which we are advocating for now, for government, is please build enough infrastructure for these people. And it is infrastructure in theater that you can subsidize, that can help the industry.
You've not answered the mentoring the younger generation.
Yeah,
is the association mentoring them? Because, like she said, one day we will not find theater again.
In fact, we have an institution that is meant for mentoring. There is a level you get to in the association, right? It's the topmost of the level now. You have to apply for it. That's the fellow of theater. Like, if you see my name, if you Google my name, you see FTA in front. It's because I'm a fellow of the theater arts.
Oh, I see.
Right. That institution is developed, right? One of the core elements of that institution is that the individuals, those of us who have practiced for at the very least, because one of the criteria to get that award, to be honored as FTA, is that you must have been practicing for 15 years. You see, so it's a mentoring institution. It is meant to give up, to be able, and we are doing it. I just finished one project like that with University of Lagos, Unilag, Moremi. I directed Moremi. That project was designed, right, as an engagement between the town and the gown. So the students were the one who were, but they brought me and one or two other people from the professional world to help them, and it was performed at the Terra Culture 2 Saturdays ago.
Wow, nice. Okay, so when I was introducing you, I called you a veteran of the stage. So I don't know if you indulge us and just give us. Am I speaking your mind?
Like a monologue.
Yeah,
Am I speaking your mind?
Yes.
It will fly. Don't worry, that monologue will fly. It will fly.
CD. We're on stage now.
Let's see.
Am I speaking your mind, CD and Joy?
Yes. In the theater, so that I don't shortchange you. I can read a line now, a monologue that exists nowhere. It's my own line.
Just give us something to go home with.
Okay.
Yes.
One of the Death and the King's Horseman that are written by Professor Wole Soyinka. There is a line that is so popular that everybody is and the man had a rapid dialogue with his legs.
And the man
had a rapid dialogue with his legs.
You see,
Oba
Professor
Ese
Wole Soyinka.
Ó bá ẹsẹ̀.
Well, that's Yoruba.
Oba Ese
Right. Ó bá ẹsẹ̀
Oba Ese
sọ̀rọ̀.
Can you
sọ̀rọ̀.
imagine?
Ó bá ẹsẹ̀ sọ̀rọ̀.
In the theater, we have them in different. We have actors, we have dancers, we have singers, we have directors, we have producers. We all belong to different things. I can pride myself as a director and a writer.
Okay.
You get- That's what. Of course, I'm an actor, but really, you see me on stage acting.
So let me ask you, what
Yeah.
what do you find most rewarding in this field?
Satisfaction. Success in life is about whether you are satisfied with what you are doing. It is until you get satisfied that you begin to make money. So for most people who are in the theater, the first thing I would say that is common is satisfaction. Because some people, you see them, you wonder, you've been doing this thing for years and you are not making money. Why are you still here? And you do it with joy. That's the simplest way. Is
Just like us here
satisfaction.
too.
It's satisfaction.
You're not making money, but we are doing with joy.
It's satisfaction, because that's the first thing. When you have satisfaction, is from the human mind is the biggest tool for the success of every human being. When the mind, right, is not satisfied, it is hard for you to make headway in that thing.
Yeah.
So most of the people who are practicing theater, right, it is that satisfaction. And this is where every working government should tap into. When you have people who are readily satisfied with what they do that is engaging the society for progress, you need then to harness it, right, and make it better.
Okay, so before we let you go, finally, what is your vision for the future of theater in Nigeria?
Well, my vision is first and foremost all that we have been talking about: ability to bring infrastructure, ability to make it worthwhile for those who are practicing. It has to be worthwhile, right? It may not be like oil and all of that. This is what builds the society. Some of us will be there building the society from scratch, right? My vision is to be able to make theater go back to doing this and achieving more. That's what is important for me. It is important.
Thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
your insights. Today's conversation has reminded us and our viewers at home that theater is not just an art form, it is a powerful tool for even economic empowerment
Yes.
and education and national growth. I've been speaking with the president of the National Association of Nigerian Theatre Arts Practitioners, Adeniran Makinde, and we've been talking about theatre and national development. We'll take a short break, and when we return, Joy and Adebimpe will continue the conversation. Please stay with us.